G'day Lions supporters, I've got the main man here, don't worry about the players, don't worry about Charlie Cameron. I've got the boss, Chris Fagan. We've been able to rip him away from his busy round one preparations, which you can tell right now he's got that footy look on his face. But Fags, before we get to round one, mate, last year was something we've never seen before. Hopefully we don't see it again. What did you take out of it as a coach, but also as a club?
Yeah, I guess what we took out of it is you've got to be flexible. You never know what's around the corner, and you can't sort of overreact when things don't go your way. You've just got to take it on the chin and make the most of any situation that you find yourself in. And you know, last year we found ourselves in lots of unique situations, and I think we discovered things about ourselves and ways of doing things that we'll probably keep doing into the future.
With if you watch how the ladies, the girls have been trying, they've had to change venues, had to fly interstate with all the stuff that's going on. Have you spoken to the players this year about what if it does come back and be prepared for a flexible mindset? Yeah,
we have had those conversations, particularly with the leadership group, because they tend to be the guys that control the attitude of everybody else. So we know still that anything could happen, and it seems like, you know, premiers are 1 or 2 cases of COVID and the whole world changes. So and we saw that with our women's on the weekend. They were, you know, I thought they were playing here on Sunday, and they found out Saturday night they were playing in Melbourne on Sunday. So it's that sort of world that we live in.
Yeah, they've had to be really flexible. Hopefully that's it enough about COVID. This pre-season, we've seen a different one. It's been a shorter, more condensed one. How have you found it? We all know that the fitness blokes love a long pre-season, the players like a shorter one. How have you found as a coach with injuries, trying to get the information into the players and also get them conditioned enough to be ready for games?
Yeah, I think it's been enjoyable. We've been able to manage to do all those things, and I reckon we haven't had too many weather interruptions this year, so we've probably had more training post-Christmas than we've ever had. So I feel like we're in good shape. We had a large group of players that did a lot of training as a group before Christmas. Without the coaches there, I think there were, at times at Cooper, there might have been a group of 25 players. So there were 10 PBs in our 3K time trial. So you know, all those indicators that you look at, I feel like we've had a good, strong pre-season. Only time will tell. I mean, we've got to play back to longer games this year, fewer rotations than we've had in many years. So it's going to be challenging.
You spoke about the players catching up as a group. How does that make you feel as a coach, knowing that you've got 15 to 20 players and even more at times off their own bat, going down there, making sure that they're as prepared as they can be for the start of pre-season? Yeah,
it's pretty exceptional. I mean, it talks volumes about the culture that we've tried to build at the football club, and it's more than anything, it speaks about the players themselves and their mateship and the fact that they like to get together and push each other along. I've loved that about them. It's not something that I've ever demanded from them. That's their time, but you know, they've all chosen to spend it that way, and I think what they've been able to see over the last couple of years, that there's real benefits to be taken from that.
You touched on just before about the longer games, the lesser rotations. How, as a coach, have you handled those two changes, but also the manning on the mark where they can't move lateral, they've got to just stand up and down? Yeah,
so some big changes. It's going to be an interesting one because the guard the mark rule might make games go longer. We saw on the weekend our game went for about 135 minutes, which I think 120 is about the usual average length. So if the games continue to go longer because scoring is high, that's going to put a lot of stress on players and bodies as the season goes on. So there's a lot of unknown about that. We've prepared as well as we can, but we've only had the one sample. That was last weekend, and that's what we discovered. The guard the mark rule, I think, well, it seems like it's going to open up the game. There's a lot of space there for good players to explore. We've worked on that over the summer. Some clubs would have worked harder on it than other clubs. I feel like we might sit somewhere in the middle on that, but we'll learn as we go along.
I know Daniel Richard and Grant Burgell are very excited about it. They reckon they can get a few handballs and they can run and break lines.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I mean, the good kickers in the game are going to be even more dangerous, I think.
And these has come from a lot of the supporters out there. A couple of our new recruits, Joey and obviously Sharpie, Harry Sharp playing his first game last week was outstanding. Tell us a bit about their pre-season, how they've gone so far.
Yeah, so Joey came to us from Essendon. Obviously, he's had pretty much 2 years where he hasn't played. He's been injured, struggled to get back on the park, got back out there late last year, and we saw glimpses of what he's capable of. Fortunately, touch wood, since he's been here, he's done every single bit of training. I think he's in the top 4 or 5 for training loads over the summer. We've seen some good form from him. I think he straightens us up. He's a very, very good player. And I think our team will enjoy playing alongside him. Harry Sharp, he's just a good young fella. He's doing his year 12, and that's his priority. But he captured all of our imaginations at the first 3K time trial when he ran it in 8 minutes 50. I've never seen an AFL player run a 3K time trial at that speed. But not only that, he's not just a good runner. He's been a footballer all his life. His dad was one of the squad coaches at the Ballarat Rebels. You can see he's been brought up in a footy family. He plays the game with intelligence, and we've got high hopes for him. The way the game's going, those endurance type runners that can just keep going all day long, they're going to be handy players to have. When I first met Harry, I just chatting to him. I don't know how it came up, but it occurred that he said to me that the previous weekend he'd just gone out for a run. He'd gone for a 28k run. So that's the sort of thing he used to do for fun. Most of us pretty happy if we run 28k's in a week. He run it on one Saturday afternoon.
I noticed a few of the players thought the GPSs were broken because he ran 10k and a half for footy and they didn't get 10k for the game.
Yeah, that's just what he can do. So, and I think he knows that's one of his attributes. But outside of that, he works really hard in the gym. His body's a lot stronger than what it was when he turned up. And he, along with a lot of those other young players, is going to be a handy acquisition for us.
Since you got here, you talk about development, self-belief and growth with their development with players. At what stage did you sit back and think, it's been a tough ride, but we're actually now a team that can contend? Was there a certain instant where you thought, hey, we can contend for a flag? Yeah,
it's a good question. I think the first thing for me is that, okay, we had 2019 and we finished second on the ladder, and we went out in straight sets. But the big thing is, can you make finals again the next year? Can you back up? Because we've seen a lot of teams have a great year then fall away again. So for me, that was particularly important. Being able to think that we can contend, that was the first thing we had to do: bat up again and be able to play finals. I suppose the moment, if there's a moment, it would have been the qualifying final last year when we played against the eventual premiers Richmond. And we played a brand of finals footy that will help you to succeed. We weren't able to do that against Geelong 2 weeks later, but what I know and you know and we all know is that our best, we can compete with the best on any given day. So that was an exciting moment for our footy club.
Without a doubt. Just a message for all the supporters. How important have they been since you got to the football club? Because we're on the verge of breaking the all-time record for our football club. So how important have they been with the journey that you've been in?
Well, they have, because I think they've understood the journey. For some reason or other, they've understood it and got behind us in those first couple of years when we were struggling to get wins. They were still turning up, and you could see that they were encouraging the team, and they enjoyed the way that we were playing. And fortunately, the last couple of years we've been able to get going a bit, and they've been rewarded for their loyalty. And it's just been fantastic over the last couple of years to see full houses at the Gabba and the noise that they can make and the belief that they have in the team. And our players feed off that. They look forward to playing here, and also in Melbourne when we go there. We didn't go there once last year, I think, and there was no crowd, but our members down there mean a lot to us as well. They make a fair bit of noise at games in Melbourne. So we're as grateful to them as hopefully what they are grateful towards us for what's happened over the last few years.
Well, I think we've got about 7 games down in Victoria, so hopefully we can get down there and see the supporters down there. But as far as the supporters up here, we've got a big game on Saturday night against the Swans, so hopefully we can see as many people as we can get into the Gabba. So,
yeah, can we have a full house this week?
At this stage, that's what they're saying. So, mate, on behalf of everyone here, to you and the players, good luck. It's been a good, solid pre-season, and good luck on Saturday night, mate.
Thanks, Hodgie.